Good afternoon, Longhaultanker, straight razor shaving with Longhaultanker, and today is the 8th, I believe it is, the 8th of January 2025. Today is Thursday, and it's approximately 1700, that's 5 p.m. Central Time, coming to you from my home in Onalaska, Texas, near Lake Livingston, between Livingston and Huntsville on US 190. Anyway, we're going to do a straight razor shave here and try and move along and talk as I go. But let me introduce the equipment as we go. We're using I guess you could call it rare enough, a rare vintage, Frederick and Reynolds Sheffield. Frederick and Reynolds, it's Frederick Reynolds. Sheffield, pre-1891. You know that because it just says Sheffield and not Sheffield, England on it. And this is a barber's notch. It's it's a full wedge on there. There's nothing on the back of the tang. And the scales appear to be original imitation tortoise. And they're beautiful scales. It's a beautiful razor. Little bit of a twist on the scales. Yeah, you can see it, the bow there. And I know you can boil that in water and twist it out and straighten it out, but it doesn't cause any contact on the edge, on the blade, as you fold it closed. Okay, so there's the razor, honed up, refreshed not too terribly long ago, 9 months to a year, on Shafting Glass 30,000. We'll see how it performs today. And the brush for today is a QED Select Manchurian Silver Tip Badger. Let's see if we can get that to come in. Yeah, good enough. 30 millimeter set in faux horn. Just a lovely, I don't know if you've ever experienced one of these brushes, but they're just absolutely lovely. All right, put that back in the water. And our soap today, looking forward to this soap very much, is Martin de Condré's Absinthe. And you can tell by the design of the logo that it is intended to be a parallel, a knockoff, a representation of the alcoholic drink absinthe, which was outlawed, as I said in my last video. This absinthe was outlawed in the United States from I believe it was 1912 to 2007. It was, anyway. And so let's what else have I got? Got the brush, got the blade, got the soap. And as I had said in the last video, unbeknownst to me, and thanks to a viewer, Daniel Archibald, he said he had a Martin de Condré that I did not have, and I thought I had all of them. But when he said that, I went back and looked at their website, and 2024 was their 50th anniversary, and they developed two new scents in 2024. The Magellan, which is a spice scent, and Absinthe. And I'm not sure about my pronunciation of that, but I'm pretty close to right, I believe. And just like the drink, it's a minty. I've never had the drink. I'm just going off of what I read. It's a minty scent, and also has a strong influence of a certain seed. But you can read about that on Martin DeCondre's website about what all the ingredients and scents, middle tones, lower tones, upper tones, etc. are. I've had a haircut. I've had a shower. And now the shave. Had a nice hot shower. And so thanks to the viewer, Mr. Archibald, I've learned of the 2 new scents. I couldn't see spending the money on buying 2 of each. Also given my own life expectancy and mortality, I didn't. I've got so much soap, I've got enough to last me 200 years, I'm sure. I exaggerate, but now I've got 12 jars of Martin DeCondre, and they'll last for a very long time. Not to mention all my other soaps that I use regularly in rotation. And no, don't need. Now, Martin DeCondre comes out with more. I will probably get them, but just one from now on. Each lathering takes such little amounts of soap off the jar. But today was a kind of a cleanup day. My wife is working at her regular job, and I went out into the yard and started moving stuff around and putting a lot of the lumber and surplus lumber into our new shed. It's not completely done, but it's certainly satisfactory for starting to move stuff into. And so that's what and cleaning up the yard a little bit with all of the scraps of everything laying about. And got it all done. Took about an hour and a half. But I'm generally a big believer in clean as you go. And anyway, all right, so here we go. Frederick Reynolds, this big meaty 7/8 to 1 inch. I have approximately 3 days worth of whiskers on my face. And just that little bit of swirling got me a whole bunch of lather. So I'm a little bit surprised because I did not, by design, on purpose, did not swirl as much as I usually do. Oh, that feels good. That feels fine. Yeah, the scent is minty, like a little bit, kind of a cross between a mint and a vetiver, and it's very nice. Kind of not outdoorsy. You get a strong mint, but natural. Mint is a natural thing that grows in the ground, and along with the scent of the vetiver and fougere, it's all outdoorsy. Okay. So I don't have a lot to say today. Here's a little something to talk about. The shooting in Minneapolis falls under the category FAFO. That if you, and I saw the full video, and that mayor of Minneapolis is a dead wrong. Other things I'd like to say, but I'm not going to. Simply to say that if you intend to run over an ICE officer using your vehicle, don't be surprised if they shoot you dead. How basic common sense is that? You break the law, they will shoot you dead. Therefore, don't break the law. But that's just a really hard concept. But if you're a Marxist communist and you're looking to overthrow the country, you don't care about the existing laws. And that's what they are, is Marxist communists. I also find it interesting that the spouse of the woman that was shot said that somebody shot her wife, which tells me that there's a whole bunch of mental disorder already going on in that situation. Somebody shot her wife. Oh, the female partner said. Don't even get me started. No, like I said, we're putting stuff into the shed. It's coming together. The only thing that's really left, we're going to put some trim on. We're going to do a little bit of caulking around the windows and the door. We hung the door day before yesterday. And did a real good job. Perfect? No. But it doesn't move. That is to say, when you leave it ajar, when you kind of open it halfway and it doesn't move, it doesn't fall forward, it doesn't fall back, it just sits there, that's a good install. Because otherwise, if you had a bad angle on the hanging of the door, it would fall. That is to say, it would swing that direction. So the roof is done. The tile, the roofing tiles, not tiles. That's the shingles. That's the word I'm looking for. Are up, and so the next step is to we're going to put in on the back side. We're going to put in a couple of small passive airflow vents. The windows went in nicely. And so really it's just about a little more waterproofing and getting the trim. We're going to use 1x4 around the door and around the windows and around the top of the gable and the seam all the way around the top. And around the bottom as well. And today, tomorrow, and Saturday are rain days, and so we're not planning on working on other than what little bit that I did today. So we're going to take it easy. My wife, of course, got her regular work to do and job responsibilities, and I got my little honeydews around that I got to do. The big job for me tomorrow is to vacuum the house. right. I'm going to go with a against the grain pass and make this a 2-pass shave with touch-ups at the end, and then a head shave. So I'm going to go a little bit abbreviated today, because for today, the rest of today, all I got to do is nothing. Nothing to do. I watched a movie because my wife was doing her work from the bedroom this morning. And I said, well, I don't want to go in there and disturb her. And so I watched a movie on Amazon Prime, a little bit of a scary horror movie. And I watched Destination, what not Destination, what's it called? Bloodlines, the new version of that. Oh, for heaven's sake, why can't I? Anyway, and yeah, that's where one of the characters gets a premonition of the pending future disaster. And my wife said, and normally my wife says to me, she said, she came out of the bedroom just as the movie was ending, and she said, well, I might want to watch that. And she can't stand horror movies. And this one certainly has its fair amount, more than its share of blood and guts. And I said, I didn't think you would want to watch something like that. And she said, well, you know, and she's very inconsistent. We watched a horror movie here about a week ago, which just blew me away that she would even countenance watching. We're supposed to have an electrician coming out this week before the rain, presumably. And when he left when he left here yesterday, looking at the job, we're gonna have the shed have electricity wired to the shed and put in some lights and outlets and such like. He said he was going to come back out today and start the job. Haven't seen him yet, but that's all right. We know him, his family, and his son in particular. And he says he's going to do the job. He gave us a super quote. I said, "Why'd you give us such a good quote for the job?" He said, because his son's got a business in town too, lumber and hardware supplies. Let me ask you guys a question. This is a health-related question and pertains more to older guys. Does your neck hurt? Is it hard to move from side to side like that? It just, both sides. I can only go so far and it begins to just really hurt. What about you? Drop a comment. Let me know how your neck is treating you. And are you doing anything about it? Chiropractor, whatever. Very nice. Very nice. Yep, nice scent on the soap. Got no complaints about it. And we recommend, I recommend, yeah, if you get the Martin de Condré, it'll last you forever. Oh, that's good enough. Oops, almost got my hand, you see that? When I do a two-pass shave, like I'm doing now, I generally have to pay a little more attention to this side in the finishing strokes when I'm coming down. Well, I don't know, across the grain, because I didn't do the second pass. But it's right here where I have some. But over here, I don't seem to have as much problem by not doing a second pass. And it cleans up very nicely with the cleanup finishing strokes. All right, that's it for the face shave. Let's move on to the head shave. I did have the haircut before the shower and shaved this afternoon. That's actually been a very nice day. I did a little workout in the yard, got some things cleaned up the way I wanted, started utilizing the new shed. And there's still a little more work to do on it, but I'm going to do some caulking, and we're going to put some trim around the windows and the door frame. And we want to make it as waterproof as possible. And of course, that's what the plastic wrap was for. You probably saw as it was being constructed, you saw the white, and I've got pictures in the videos over the last several, as we've been building this, the Home Depot plastic wrap. That's a waterproofing that goes on behind around the framing before you put any of the finishing board on. and the tape. We use some joist tape and waterproofing adhesive tape as well. And we've got to put good where the panels on the LP smart siding come together. We've got to do some waterproofing before we lay on the 1x4 trim. Oh, it feels very nice. Oh yeah, it's very nice. All right, I'm gonna lay my brush down into the water, let it start soaking, and get the bulk of the soap off. Even for the limited amount of lathering that I did, or the swirling, I'm still I got enough soap in there for 2 more shaves. But that's all right. I like heavy lather, and I can work it down as I see fit during the course of the shave and rinse it out. Now I've got one soap here working, I say working, that I just used recently, and I'm going to use it again here for long, where I had same amount of lathering, but I got a heavy, excessive amount of soap and lather, and it was still thick, rich, and creamy at the end of the shave. So I squeezed my brush out and put that excess back into the jar. It was a Sterling Soap Company soap. And probably my next shave, Saturday, on that rain day. See how that excess lather that I put back into the jar, see how it shaves out. All right. Nice thing about a full wedge is that it's hefty and meaty, and it doesn't take hardly any, if it's well honed, force. Doesn't hardly take any force or pressure at all just to go up into a bunch of whiskers or a hairline. And cut down and mow down those wascally whiskers. All right. That's it on the head shave, neck shave. The face shave is done. Now let's get on to the refinements and get this shave done with so I can get on with the rest of my afternoon and evening with my wife. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse my face off with this lather water. Using a Ozma alum block. Not hardly anything at all. As I often say, just enough to let you know you had a shave. But the nice thing about Ozma alum block is it takes that initial harshness of the sting out. If I had just thrown some aftershave on my face, it likely would have stung like crazy. And with doing the alum block, it takes that initial sting out. You put on a alcohol-based aftershave, and you get, not much sting at all. Let me fold up my Frederick Reynolds, take my backup, remove them from the area. All right. All right, set that over there. So, refinements. Let's carry on with the refinements because I'm going to do a thorough job today on the refinements. Okay, so we used the Martin Condrey absinthe. Nice minty scent. I'm so inundated with it, I don't hardly smell it right now. All right, let's close that jar up. I've been reading here lately, I don't know, and I never did this when I was on the road, truck driving, and leaving the jar open to dry out is supposed to be somewhat advantageous to the soap. Okay, fine. But I can tell you, in nearly 15 years of driving on the road, shaving on the road these 10 and a half years, it never made one bit of difference in the performance of any soap that I used. And I've got quite a collection, like so many of you do as well. So, as I say, the Martin Condrey absinthe, put the lid on it, close it down. Start putting things in order here. Put the alum block away. Let's see. Next, some Thayer's facial tonic, lavender scent. And my aftershave for the day is Pinard Clubman Whiskey Woods. I don't have anything that matches. I got a lime sec, maybe. I've got the Florida water, maybe. I've got that wintergreen. What is that? Osage rub. But I'm going to use Whiskey Woods because you shave with your lather, and it gives you a nice scent while you're shaving. And unless you've got something that actually matches that, you don't usually consider, at least I don't, I have never considered, only marginally so, considered the scent of my soap to help determine the scent of the aftershave that I was going to pick out. Because the aftershave so overwhelms the scent is soon forgotten. And even if you didn't do anything by way of aftershave, the scent of the soap would soon be forgotten anyway. Right? Yeah. Okay. One more thing and we'll be done. And as I'm going to go ahead and do a little powder job. Again, Pinard Clubman, cornstarch in the green container, plastic container. And I just took an old synthetic brush, the biggest one that I had. I didn't want to spend the extra money at that time, and I still don't, really. The big powder brush that the barbers use. Anyway, all right, fellas. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you down the road. Bye.